Hello and welcome back to the Master Clickbait Podcast. My name is Tyler and I'm joined by my good friends Drew, Nick, and Jason. Today we'll be talking about 10 celebrities that are literally Hitler. Literally. But first, what'd you guys do this week?
All right, well,
Valentine's Day week?
Valentine's Day week, that did happen. My girlfriend is in Texas, so I did nothing. Tyler, I know you did something pretty special.
I did, but I don't want to steal everyone's glory.
All right, well, who has glory here to steal?
Well, I got a lot of drinking done and a lot of beating off because, single life.
All right, Jason.
He had a beer, cried himself to sleep.
How'd you know what I did, man?
Maybe 2 beers.
But did you beat off into the beer after you finished it?
Before I finished it.
I may have to mark this one as explicit. This episode. More so than, but it's okay. Drew?
Yeah.
Well, for the first half I worked. Then Ari and I went out to Texas Roadhouse.
Oh, how
Very
was that?
Movie.
What
It was
movie?
good. What movie was it?
Was it Lego Batman?
It was not Lego Batman.
Ah, jeez, you missed out. Excellent
It should
movie.
have been Lego Batman. I want to see that.
Oh,
Too many
man.
kids in the theater don't see it yet.
Dude, there wasn't too many kids when I went. It's excellent movie. It's just as good, if not better, than Lego Movie. You'll like it just
So
as much.
Jason,
Tyler-
just go see a matinee and I'll be fine.
Tyler, you hailed it as the best superhero movie you've ever seen, right?
It's up there, honestly. One of the best superhero movies I've ever seen. I
Really?
consider it a superhero movie. Yeah, it was just hilarious. There's the first act of it was just action, and it was a musical number. And I usually don't like musical numbers, but it was a freaking hilarious musical number. And Batman is just such a cool, awesome, hilarious character. How much of an arrogant ass he is, but it's so likable in a way.
Dude, Robin was the best part of that movie.
Robin was the best part, though.
Who plays Robin?
Michael Cera.
Michael Cera.
Michael Cera. God, yes.
And then I won't reveal it, but it references other stuff. It does. I won't reveal the big parts of it, but it references old Batmans and stuff. So there's a joke where the Joker's about to take over a plane, and the Joker says, "I'm gonna take over this plane," and the pilot's like, "No, you're not. Batman's gonna stop you." He's like, "When has Batman ever stopped me?" And he's like, there was that one time with the 2 boats, and then the time before that, and the time before that, and then it referenced Dark Knight and all the other Batmans and other.
Well, the two boats is the Dark Knight. It's like the very end.
Yeah, but then other scenes as well. Also, I did they had Bane's comic book character. So have you seen Bane's comic book character versus Nolan's
His
interpretation?
roid rage character.
Isn't
Yeah.
he just green and jacked?
He's super comically jacked and
Yeah.
He
green.
uses the Venom, too.
Yeah, he has the Venom too. But in this one,
He's Spanish.
he looks like that, but he has the coat that he wore in Nolan's, and he has the same voice as Nolan's, which is pretty
Because
funny.
in the really it's Tom Hardy.
I don't know if it's Tom Hardy,
No, it wasn't. If it's someone
but it
big,
sounds
apparently
like this.
That's true. It's pretty easy to replicate, but no, it isn't. In the really shitty oh god, what's the actor that I'm told who was one of the Batmans? He was the one that was in the one that had Mr. Freeze and Bane and Poison Ivy.
Oh, it's George Clooney Batman.
George
Batman
Clooney.
Forever.
Yeah, George Clooney. But I'm sorry, I totally forgot the Kloonmeister. No, but in
Bat nipple.
in his movie, which was an atrocity, by the way, that was when Bane was literally just this tiny dude, and then he got injected with some plant,
Yeah.
whatever, and then he became just giant green jacked dude. That
Alright, I got 2 comments on this. Number 1, Lego Batman Bane, voiced by Doug Benson.
Okay.
all right.
Number 2 is I like that Batman movie.
How can you like that Batman movie?
It's a fun movie. I mean,
I
ignore the fact that it's bad. It's a fun movie.
I mean,
I laugh
it has
at it.
Arnold, which is nice.
I mean, I can't bash him too bad. My favorite Batman's Adam West Batman.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, how can you deny George
Nobody
Clooney's
messes with Adam
Batscapes?
Wee.
Because Adam Wee would beat George Clooney in a fight.
Dude, I don't know. That George Clooney Batman, there are some. I don't know if I'm laughing at it or with it.
It's both. It's a fun movie, dude.
Well,
The
he's the
We'll
Batman
kill the
where it's
dinosaurs.
the nipple suit. Are you kidding me? It's awesome.
He's literally the Batman where it's he's never even concerned about anything because he knows he'll just get out of it.
It's even more. It's like you don't even know how self-aware it actually is. I'm always kind of confused. I'm like, how self-aware that movie is, if that makes sense.
But did any of you like having seen that movie? Did any of you crush on Poison Ivy because she was pretty fine?
I don't remember that movie at all.
Uma Thurman?
Was it Uma Thurman?
Yeah, it's Uma Thurman.
She was very fine.
Yeah, she was pretty good looking in that movie.
That was probably the best part of the movie.
Uh, who played Robin?
Best part sounds like the credits, according to you guys.
No, you're missing a great movie.
No, dude, Uma Thurman. She wears like hardly anything.
Yeah, she played Poison. She was a good Poison Ivy.
She was a good Poison Ivy. I will agree with that.
I will say the Poison Ivy in Lego Batman might have her beat in terms of hotness. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh my goodness.
What was I gonna say though? I was going somewhere with this.
Speaking of superhero movies, I just started watching X-Men.
Oh yeah, in preparation.
I'm gonna watch all the important X-Men in order before I watch Logan because I mean that movie really has gotten me into the series because it just looks really excellent and well done. I think there's been a few reviews for it. I think they were mostly positive. I haven't looked too far into it because I know it comes out. It's coming out in the next few weeks. It comes out in March, right?
Yeah, March 3rd.
March 3rd. Okay, beautiful. Yeah. So, yeah. So I
Next
watched
Friday.
X-Men.
Oh shit, next Friday.
Is it next Friday?
Yeah.
Oh, that's next Friday. That's actually when it's when Nicole's coming to visit.
Oh, so you guys have to go see it.
Ooh, that's a good date movie.
Yeah, great
That's
date movie.
a fantastic date movie. Obviously, if she doesn't like it, then I shouldn't be dating her. But she did tell me she didn't want to see the Lego Batman movies. So I'm a little disappointed in her.
Wait, she doesn't?
She does not.
For what purpose?
All right, fine, Nick. You and I can go together.
Drew, please come be my date.
I'll be.
I know.
I'll see it again.
Yeah, but no.
You
So I
can't
watched
just invite yourself, Tyler.
I watched X-Men 1, and I mean it's very much made in 2000 because some of it's pretty laughable. Like it's a decent movie. Like I have to consider the fact that it was 2000 when it was made, so not all the action sequences and some of the choreography and some of like the effects are going to be pretty almost ancient now in comparison. But it was decent. I think the acting could have used some improvements. It was Anna Paquin who played Rogue, who is like one of the main characters, who's actually a very good actress. She was in the movie Fly Away Home, which I used to watch when I was little. I think she won. She was one of the youngest people to win like an Oscar or something like that, or one of the first millennials
she
to win
play?
an Oscar. She plays Rogue.
Rogue, okay.
But she literally just like most of her lines aren't lines; they're just her staring or like making noises.
I see. You know what movie you guys should watch? Jason will be coming back as well too. His internet went out, but I just messaged him and he should be coming back on. But you should watch The Cat in the Hat with Mike Myers. Great movie.
Really?
Yeah, it's hilarious.
I've seen it. It's not great.
When was the last time you seen it?
I was
Wait.
a kid.
Wait, the one with the live action one, correct?
The live action one.
Yeah, I've seen it
When?
recently, like last summer.
You have to watch it ironically.
It's
How do you watch a movie ironically?
you be a hipster.
In a way, I don't know. It's there's some gems in that movie. You have to go back and you'll see them and you'll be like, this movie.
Granted, I will tell you, I wasn't really paying attention, but it just didn't look good.
Okay,
So,
well you got to pay attention. There's small dialogue here and there.
To be fair, that's Mike Myers. That's
Yeah.
not Jim Carrey. It's Mike Myers.
That's Mike Myers.
I know. The last live action like Dr. Seuss one I saw, being the Grinch, I thought was awful. I hated that movie.
Oh, I saw that movie when I was like 10.
I don't know if I finished that movie. I think I was little and I just didn't care to finish it because it just kept going.
I had a birthday party where we went and saw it. You would have hated that birthday party.
I'm really glad I didn't know you yet.
Really glad you didn't have to sit through the Grinch birthday party.
Wait, you said you were what, 10?
I think that was my 10th birthday.
Well, I knew you.
I didn't know
I
you
knew
then.
you when you were 11, so
You-
I just dodged a bullet.
You guys didn't know me. I think I was in 6th grade.
I should have known you.
No,
Then.
I knew you in 5th grade, Tyler.
Yeah, you knew me in
Ten-
4th
ten-
grade. Sorry, 4th
fourth
grade.
grade.
Yeah,
Do your
4th
math.
grade.
Yeah, I knew you in fifth.
Do math good.
Oh, you were in fifth.
Yeah, when we met with we were in 5th grade. It came out in 2000, and so that was the year we saw it in theaters. Was in 2000, so I was only 6. So maybe even third or like second grade. I don't know how
All
old.
right. Unrelated, Drew. I have a bone to pick with you, and you have to be vague. But why don't you like Bioshock Infinite?
Oh well, I got some biased reasons on that. One, where spoiler alert.
No,
You,
no, no, no spoilers. For
oh,
Tyler.
Yeah.
who cares? He should have played it by now.
No, 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 no. He's gonna play it soon. Just be vague. Just give me like
There was a
general
part
reasons.
right after you go to the museum
Okay.
where my saved file wouldn't like save. So like the next 4 times I played it, I had to repeat that museum part. But it
Okay.
wasn't just the museum part; it was like 40 minutes after.
Uh,
So it was like an hour I had to keep repeating, which that just put a sour note in my mouth, taste in my mouth, and I never
Okay.
wanted to play it again.
okay. That's.
And then I didn't care too much for the ending because I can't really say why because it'll ruin it for this kid.
I just don't know how you can argue the brilliance of that ending. It was just so complex and well done.
Complex. I'll
It
type
was
it up in chat
absolutely
for you.
complex.
I
Alright.
can't type it on chat.
You can't type up in chat. You can just text me.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Just text me during this podcast. We'll have our own side conversation.
Now is it?
Yeah, dude.
Now, Drew, let me ask you: do you think that it's complex just for the sake of being complex, or do you think that Nick is right? Well, obviously you don't think Nick is right, but yeah, do you think it's complex just for the sake of being complex?
It's not really that complex.
What's wrong with it then?
I'm gonna spoil it for you anyway because too bad. At the
no,
end,
I no.
it shows
you,
you
really,
getting
you really
baptized.
can't.
But then while you're getting baptized, it shows all the different Elizabeths all converging into one. So every single universe that where Comstock got baptized, he gets drowned. So the flying city never happens.
That means nothing to him, but okay.
So yeah, he won't get it, but that's why I hate it.
Well, looks like I don't
it-
have to play those games.
It's all the fake choices you make.
all
They
the
don't matter.
I will say the choices in the game do not matter. Although one is uh like one does it like there's one part where it's like you can choose. This is minor. You can choose to like you're still
That's-
trying to like kind of remain undercover. You don't even choose heads or tails. That you just choose heads.
Oh yeah, that one does it for you. Then there's the one where you choose like the bird or the cage.
Yeah, that one is literally just a cosmetic thing where she wears that necklace. I don't think it does anything story wise. But there's the one part where you're still trying to kind of like remain like incognito, and you go up to a guy and like it's clearly hinted at that like they know who you are and they're about to like try to like kill you and take her, and you have the choice between threatening this guy or pulling out your gun or threatening this guy, and if you choose to threaten him, then he stabs your hand and you have a bandaged hand the entire rest of the game. I did kind of like the bandage stayed on though, because it's just like that choice actually like had a minor significance, and it led to a cutscene where your hand got wrapped.
Interesting.
So I did like the Lutesses in that game. They're probably my favorite part all about it. Just
They
their
were very
banter.
good.
One criticism I've heard is that it kind of takes the shock part out of it. Not shock as in like surprise, but like the part that was inspired by System Shock, or the part that the shock part of BioShock. It kind of takes out of it and makes it more of just an FPS.
What the shock being like the really scientific aspect, or what?
It being the more exploration slash, I don't want to say RPG, but maybe RPG like, or like item gathering. Basically, I just heard it was a lot more streamlined.
It was. The combat was definitely better, which I liked. It was more tight. Just it felt better. The aiming system was improved. The sky riding the skylines was pretty fun.
Yeah.
I mean, compared to Bioshock, the main choice you have in that game, there's actually there's a few choices, but the main choice that affects the ending you get, because in Infinite, I'm pretty sure there's only one ending because they really want that really good, well thought out ending. It's just how you deal with the little sisters, and it actually becomes like really the main crux of the game, and like the main crux of how the game wraps up is how you dealt with the little sisters throughout the game, and it kind of is in regards to you as your humanity as a person. And so if you save them all, which I did because I did read the fact that it's actually better to do it, not only because of the ending, but because of the amount of Adam you get.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too. It actually benefits you from being
It does.
good.
Yeah, from a long-term perspective. So you gotta think like in the beginning of the game, if you want like a lot of Atom, you could harvest and you could just kind of bulk up in the beginning. Which that game is a game that gets easier as it goes on because as you keep buying upgrades and keep increasing your health and whatever plasmids you can, the game becomes progressively easier. But in the beginning of the game, it's extremely difficult, especially because I was playing on Survivor difficulty, which was I'm an asshole. Um, but yeah, the game just got especially once you get the crossbow. The crossbow makes the game really, really easy. Um, but yeah, that's like really the main choice, the moral choice in that game, and I can see why people would complain about that. But I mean, by as far as like gameplay goes, though, you're more or less doing the same things. I will say Infinite, it was probably more linear, but there's still some exploration options.
Yeah.
Could you even go back to the previous areas?
No, there was certain parts I guess that's a complaint too. You couldn't go all the way back because
0 out of
Bioshock
10.
you can literally access to any. You could literally access any area except for the very, very first area.
I see. So yeah, I can see why people's complaints. I'll eventually play them. Like Chris was
I will
saying.
say, sorry, I will say though, like there's really two aspects to Infinite that I really like, and they're present in the first Bioshock 2, which is kind of like the socio-political kind of themes are actually really cool. In the first Bioshock, you kind of deal with libertarian society and how it essentially fails, as they try to like secede from the United States, sort of. And Bioshock Infinite's a lot of the same, but it's in 1912, so you have a lot of racial themes where it's kind of white superiority. Not
Yeah.
all white, not even just like Anglo-Saxon white, not because Irish were were subjugated, African Americans were subjugated, Asians were subjugated, and they were all treated like. I mean, you can see like a lot of. I like what I loved about the game is just how it captured the era very, very well.
Yeah.
Like, you can. There's a part where you can just kind of walk around. You can listen to conversation too, and that's what I love to doing in games. Just like walking up to every AI and listening to the conversation they have,
Yeah.
because it just really gives you a feel for how society functions. So they're talking about how like, one conversation was like, an Asian man just walked up to me the other day and asked me the time just like that, like the nerve. And it's like, it just really gives you a glimpse of what it was like.
That guy sounds like a dick.
It was a woman for one thing, but yes,
Sounds like a bitch.
yeah, for sure, right, a right cunt. But as later on in that very same area, actually, you can like have access. You can open most of the doors in that game, and you can access just the bathrooms, and it shows like there's bathrooms for like Irish and black men, and the Irish and black women, and then like 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes later, they had the bathrooms for like white people, and like the difference was very stark. I don't know. I thought it captured the era really, really well.
Um, I'll probably pick it up soon. Like I said, it was only $40 earlier, but I just discovered that, as we were saying earlier, both Battle for Middle Earth 1, 2, and the expansion to 2 is free now, and so I'm gonna be playing those. Now that
I
there's
still
now there's online too.
I still think we should all play Astroneer. That game looks fantastic. Drew, I know it's not your cup of tea, but I think it's something. It could be like our new Minecraft, essentially. I know we played that for a little bit.
We played that for a while. We had that
We did
server
play-
going.
I mean, we had that. What year in high school did you show me that game?
High school. It was before high school, I think.
Was it before? Was it in junior high?
It might have been 8th grade.
Really? I mean, this is before I knew Duvall, and like I didn't know Duvall, I didn't know Dan. So this is like I only knew Drew and I think Jason and like a few people. So I guess yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Let me look when. So we started in the beta. That's when I started.
Yeah, I bought it in the beta as well.
So yeah, so we both bought it in the beta. I believe we bought it right before beds were added.
Okay. Yeah, you might be right. Like we were pretty. It was pretty like vanilla Minecraft.
Okay, so
that's a thing.
we started in the beta. I remember that. We were definitely in high school because the first alpha was released in 2009. And
Okay.
then we started playing. I'm gonna look up the different builds. I believe we started playing right as beds were added, maybe right before.
Yeah, I think it was before because that's when I actually played and there were no beds.
Okay, So yeah, it was before that then. Um,
I remember you digging into like Duvall's house, like you were digging, and then suddenly you were in his like golden throne room, and
yeah,
then he came online and just like found you. He's like, "What are you doing here?" And it was like the creepiest thing because I had no idea who Duvall was. So like to me, he was like some entity in that game, kind of.
it was kind of like, oh shit.
And then Dan had the ThunderCon Hotel.
Oh yeah, which was a giant castle.
It was like the most empty building that ever existed.
Yeah, he never did finish what. Oh wait, no, that was in the server from like 2 summers ago.
No, that was the original server. That was the first time you ever showed me Minecraft. Was I saw ThunderCon Hotel.
Okay, but it was that. I remember that server then. And then
That
we
was the
Made
first
the
server.
cathedral.
Dan made the cathedral in the most recent one we played.
Oh, he did. I had all the different colored wool in the last one we played.
We had a pretty comfy house going. I remember I
We
made
did.
that train station too. Our village was pretty cool.
I
don't like
remember
those games. I'm never creative enough.
You don't even.
my brother actually was really, really good at making houses in that game.
So was my brother. I'm playing Minecraft Xbox One edition with my brother.
Why?
I don't know. He has it on that one.
It's nice to hang out with your bro.
Yeah, I did that with my brother for a bit.
PC
He's actually
one
really good at
way better.
redstone.
Yeah,
It's just nice to be able to sit down and have a controller in your hands. I don't know.
I kind of agree. I don't know. The Xbox One edition kind of has a little bit of a charm. There's like mini games in it and stuff. So like, you don't have to join servers. There's like a matchmaking where it's like a Hunger Games style mini
Yeah,
game.
I've seen that.
So that's kind of fun. But it was just me and him on this server, and he's actually really good at building too.
I think my bro and I did that for a while too. We had our own server. Actually, Casey and I were the only ones that played on the old server. I think that we just had because I think Casey was on that server and he had a house.
From 2 summers ago?
I think so.
I was
And,
in Madison during that.
Yes, you were. I think he and I would end up being the only ones that played, or we made a different server, or maybe we're playing on co-op on the Xbox, on the 360. I don't know.
Best thing I ever made in that game was an elevator, and that only worked half the time.
The best thing I made on my cousin's server when early on into Minecraft, I made an underwater house, and
I've done that.
it took painstaking efforts because I glassed
does.
off an entire like box, filled it with sand, mined out the sand, and then proceeded to build the house and break all the glass. And then the server glitched shortly after, and my progress was like erased. I was like, well, I'm not doing that again because I think I worked from 10 p.m. till 7 a.m. the next morning. on that.
Jesus,
That's too much work.
I did it.
that's a lot of Minecraft.
All right, serious question. How old is too old for Minecraft? Because after a
Never.
certain
It's-
point, people are going to be
it's
like, is this guy a
electronic Legos.
pedophile?
Ooh,
I mean, it depends on if he's like playing online, I guess.
You could say that about any game then.
no,
You can't. Hell no, you can't.
you can't. Jason has a point.
Building stuff. You don't have to play with anyone.
Do you guys know about Roblox? It's like kind of like a Minecraft
Oh,
game that kids play.
Oh yeah, that thing is so old. Roblox. I played
Is
that.
it really?
No.
Yeah, it came out. I played that like 5 years before Minecraft was even a thing.
Wait, was that the one where like the mascot was like a
He
wait,
looks like a
but
Lego
that thing-
guy.
Well, it looks very Minecraft Lego-esque.
Yeah.
Like in its, I guess, art design, if you want to call it that.
It's very popular still.
It's
I
still
do
very
remember
popular.
that game. I never
Nicole's
played it.
sister plays that game addictively.
So I just googled it, and the first news article that came up was parent finds virtual sex acts in app for kids, Roblox.
Dear God.
So that's the best thing I've heard all day.
But yeah, it's been around for a while. But in regards to Jason's question, how old is too old for Minecraft? I think
I think
it
it just depends on how you use it. Yeah. I mean,
Depends how you use
if you're playing by yourself or with like a group of people, I don't think there's really a limit.
Like group of people, like me and my brother.
People like or
if
like
we
you know,
started
a
a
group
server.
a group of similar age people probably. I have to preface that.
So it's not okay to play with 9-year-olds, is what you're saying.
It's not okay to be our age alone and like going into random servers you find online and being like trying to start getting into those communities. I think that's a little weird.
Oh, Tyler, what was that really, really old server we used to play on?
Two
Was it
Kingdoms.
Two Kingdoms?
Yep.
Two Kingdoms.
Two Kingdoms.
Did you ever meet King of Spades? Didn't he live in Madison?
He lives in Milwaukee. He goes to University of Wisconsin,
Milwaukee.
Milwaukee. He's on my Snapchat actually.
Have you ever met him in person?
I haven't. No, I just know he does a lot of vape, hookah, and weed.
That does make
Dude,
sense.
vape cures cancer, man.
Apparently, considering how much this guy does it, he's gonna be his whole next 3 generations will be cancer free.
Dude, I want to buy a vape just for the gag, but I know I'm gonna like it, so I don't want to do it.
Dude, one time I walked into the basement, and my sister and like 6 of her friends were hanging out down there, and it was super foggy and super smoky, and I'm like, "What the hell's going on down here?" And then one of her friends, he was just like, "It's just vape, bro. It's just some vape," and I'm just like, "Oh my god." I wish he would have said it was weed. Like that made it. I'm like, what flavor is that? Raspberry? He's like, it's mint dragonberry, and I'm like, get the
Even worse.
I'm like, get the fuck out of my house.
We
Why
there
add
was
the
this guy we were with on Friday. He ate a vape. And we're like, "What flavor is that?" And he's like, "It's snowman poo." And we're just like, "Wait, what?"
What does that mean?
Gotta watch these now for the names.
That's the flavor, man. It's snowman poo.
It's
Is that ice then, or like what? Snow?
Honestly, it smelled like puppy chow.
It-
The,
Oh my!
like
Oh
the
my!
tasty treat.
Oh my God, dude! I cannot stop myself when I have puppy chow. I will eat myself. I will eat that until I like throw up, and then eat more.
it's part of these
I've seen you do
vape.
that with popcorn.
You have to. Well, I usually don't throw up popcorn though, but I'll eat the shit out of popcorn.
It's part of these vape flavors, kind of like the Jelly Bellies, where you don't really know the flavor. You just kind of throw it in your mouth and hope that it tastes good.
I mean,
Right
it
to the
says what you're
best.
buying.
I have no idea. The only
They'll make a
vape.
game out of it, like they have Bean Boozle. They'll have like one shit flavor, one good flavor. You pick
Yeah,
which one.
Emily was gonna buy that game, but she said that if she got a really bad flavor, she might get too sick, and so she didn't want to buy it.
So my dad has no idea what those are, and over Christmas, my little cousin was there. So my dad was giving her those jelly beans, having no idea that they tasted bad on purpose. And the look on her face.
What kind of candy is this?
He was like, she doesn't like any of them. And I was like, I wonder why.
Yeah, there's like throw up flavor. There's stinky sock. I'm pretty
Like
sure.
boogerfish.
Booger.
Speaking of berries, apparently Pokemon Go has new berries now.
Who
I
still
don't
plays?
talks about
Forgot
that
that game
anymore.
existed.
Well, I've had the game deleted for a long time now, but
Yeah.
Snapchat IGN is telling me that Pokemon Go has new berries.
That
They have
reminds me.
second generation too.
My Snapchat
in,
rant.
in other important news, Kylie still loves Taiga and selfies.
Yeah, this reminds me of my rant I have with Snapchat. I wish you could just disable all of those at the top. But no, you can't because they pay Snapchat a ton of shekels in order to keep their shit at the top, so we have to get informed every day, even if we don't want to, that Kylie is
About
still
the
with
Kardashians.
about the Kardashians, and it pisses me off, and I don't want to see them. I just don't want to see it. And so somehow also they get paid all that money. Those companies pay all that money to Snapchat, and Snapchat still can't turn a profit. Like the idiots they are.
Wait, they're not turning a profit? Seriously?
No, they're about to IPO, and they could barely make money.
Jesus.
They're valued at $22 billion, though.
I will say there are a couple. Like I will usually look at IGNs. Like they have sometimes interesting stuff.
I mean,
obviously.
IGN, I'd be interested in it. I mean, sometimes I kind of like the ESPN stuff. Sometimes,
Yeah, like, it depends. If it's like non-basketball related, I'll probably watch it.
But-
or if it's just like, cool dunks, I'm like, I'll watch dunks. That's fine.
but I mean, if I had the choice of keeping it so I could see those things or getting rid of them all, I'd get rid of them all.
Oh, I would absolutely.
Maybe they'd make an ad-free account for you. You have to pay
It'll
like
cost
$10 a month.
Yeah, it'll cost money. Then they'll actually turn a profit, perhaps.
They did try to sell you those replays. I remember that. It was like buy 10 replays for like $4.99, and I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
Does
You're able to
Snapchat-
buy repays?
Just screenshot if you really want to see it that badly.
Yeah, right. You were able to. You used to only get one replay a day. Now
No,
you
but
now you get as many as you want.
I swear to God, like there are some like I usually like IGN. Brother actually is one that's on here that actually has usually sometimes it's like it seems like a dude run magazine, so I like to read that one sometimes. And I'll read Cosmo if it's like written by Frank Coppola because he's hilarious. But most of the writers for Cosmo are just absolute shit, and just bitch the entire time.
Hey,
Um,
speaking of basketball, like you said, what's his name? One of the big NBA players has come out
Michael
and
One.
Jordan.
no. I forget his name. Is it Kyrie Irving? Kyrie Irving came out and said that the Earth is flat.
Well,
Based.
that's true, man.
is Neil deGrasse Tyson gonna come down on him again?
I don't know, but he said the Earth is flat. It's right in front of our faces, people.
Dear
and
God.
and then LeBron James voiced his support. So it turns
Uh,
out that many
uh,
of these NBA players are actually woke as fuck.
Yeah, hey Nick, don't tell me you believe in that round Earth meme.
Please
Dude,
don't tell me you fell for the round Earth meme.
Guys, shockingly, professional athletes aren't all that intelligent.
I don't believe that.
I don't believe that,
Did a
especially NBA
human
players.
performance.
No, but going back to Snapchat though, I swear to God, like Daily Mail, which is that it's like Daily Mail that like UK, it's a UK ran
It's like a
magazine,
UK,
I believe.
Yeah, it's tabloids
They
here.
are literally obsessed with the Kardashians.
I know.
Every single day, the Daily Mail Snap story, featured whatever, is either about Kylie, about fucking Kim, and then the other two bitches whose names that escape me.
But it's annoying.
That's good. They should escape you.
Maybe they own it, and that's why they do it so much.
They fucking might, dude. It's abhorrent. Like I can't even honestly.
Want to know the worst part?
Yes, please.
They keep doing it because people keep clicking on it.
Oh, absolutely. Like I'll see
Stop
it
talking
and it just
about
pisses me off. But everyone else is fucking obsessed with them.
I don't know too many people that like unironically likes them. I think it's a lot of people hate like them, if that makes sense.
Hate like
Or hate no. Like you know when you hate watch something,
like The Bachelor.
People know because it's in their face all the time.
people yeah people like ironically like keep up with them, or like they'll be like, oh my god, I hate them, I have to read this story about them to justify my hate, and then
Well,
they'll
I
read the
know-
story and then they'll just be like, god, they're such bitches, but they just read
I
a
know my
story about
mom
them.
used to watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians because it made her feel better about herself and her life choices.
I think that's what most people do.
I don't think that's the case. I think most people are actually genuinely interested. I honestly do.
I mean, look at us right now. Look at what we're discussing. We're discussing
Can't
them.
avoid it.
We can't avoid it. They just wiggle
We're
their
talking-
way. They sneak their way into conversations like the snake in Eden.
I will gladly talk. I will gladly talk for hours about how much I would pay. I would literally pay to have them assassinated.
Yeah, and guess what?
You're going to jail now.
One, you're going to jail now. Have fun. And two, you're giving them the publicity that they want. Like that's what their brand is. That's why they're millionaires, kinda. They're also really rich because their dad defended OJ.
Well, yeah, that's the only reason they have any bit of fame is because their dad's famous. They're just riding his coattails.
It's all right. Their dad's rotten in hell.
I mean, the
So-
Chewbacca defense is you can't even beat that.
The Chewbacca defense.
What the fuck's the Chewbacca defense?
You ever seen that South Park?
No, I haven't seen
No, I
that
have
South
not.
Park.
Oh god, you gotta watch it. It's fantastic.
What I just watched yesterday regarding OJ, the glove not fitting. What a mess that trial was. And I was watching everyone's reactions, and it was kind of interesting when people reacted how split everything was. All the white people were like, "God damn it, how is he not guilty?" And all the black people were cheering because it turned into a whole racial thing. Though to be fair, in the
Of course
video,
it would do that today.
yeah,
It'd be even more controversial today. I would
yeah.
argue.
I agree. To be fair, though, in the same video, there are plenty of black folk that were saying, you know, this was a load of bullshit. That he did it, and the people cheering, they don't know that this guy just got away with murder. Granted, we all know the story. He ended up losing in a civil case and lost a shit ton of money, and so he had to steal back. He had to sell his memorabilia and then steal it back, and then he got caught for that. He got sentenced to like 33 years in prison for that.
Stealing it back? What? I've not heard of this honestly.
Are you serious?
I live under a rock, Tyler.
Oh,
Sue me.
it's the best part of the story. So OJ walks free, writes the book If I Did It, talks about how women like him now more after the trial than they did before. Yeah, he's going crazy. He ends up losing in a civil trial that the Goldman family, I believe, the guy he killed, put against him, and it bankrupts him. The trial bankrupts him.
Sure.
He loses that one, and so now he's poor. Like literally, he is homeless. He's poor, and he's desperate for money, and so he starts selling off a bunch of memorabilia. Well, he runs out of that and runs out of that money, and so what he does is he goes and steals back the memorabilia he just sold, and then gets caught for it, and then he goes to 33 years in prison. So
OJ
Nice.
has the ability to get away with murder, but not general theft.
yeah, right. So like, there's people. Granted, you don't get 33 years for burglarizing, but
No.
they threw the book at him because it was kind of revenge. It was kind of like, you're going
It's
away,
like-
fucker.
It's like when a ref misses a call and then like calls something that's absolute shit. Like a minute later to make up for their missed call.
Yeah, it was something like that. And then, unfortunately for his two accomplices, because they were in the same crime and they can't get sentenced for a they also got hit with 33 years in prison, the same amount as him, and they just burglarized. But that's what you get for associating with OJ.
Completely unrelated. My only relation being referees, actually, which doesn't even make sense in this analogy. Did you guys know that the Big Ten Network partnered with Riot Games to make a League of Legends Big Ten League?
Oh God.
It's actually
Really?
awesome. Yeah, actually today Northwestern played Illinois, U of I.
I
The Big
would like
Ten-
that if it was a game I was more interested in, but I guess that's pretty cool.
Well, I think you should actually like just watch because actually it's really fun to watch. And like I said, the best part about it is there's no referees, there's no ref ball, just pure just gameplay. That's it.
There's useless commentators though.
I disagree. Those commentators are better than commentators we see on general sports.
Oh yeah, they're trash as well. I
This
hate
is
all the
league, you said,
commentators.
right?
This league, yeah,
I'm not-
yeah.
I'm not a
They
huge.
just started the league the end of January 31st, I think, is when it launched, and they play 6 p.m. Eastern time on Mondays. And Northwestern played U of I today.
I mean, maybe I'll watch just to support
Well,
it.
one-
I'd like to see other games.
I didn't see who won, 'cause I didn't actually watch the game, but we were at a bar, me and Alec,
Oh.
and it was the Big Ten Network, and then suddenly they're showing league gameplay, and we're like, what the hell? Like, what? Why is this in the Big Ten Network? And they're like blah blah blah, like Northwestern versus Illinois coming on Monday. I was like, holy shit, this is a thing. So I looked it up, and I'm just really happy that that's a huge step forward. I think it's awesome.
Hey Jason, weren't we
What
at
up?
Jameson's and they had Heroes of the Storm on?
That
Yeah,
that'd
the
be
head,
pretty-
head heroes with the storm playing. That was pretty funny.
That's
I,
awesome.
I would
actually.
watch competitive Overwatch. I really like watching competitive RTS.
RTS
All
is
the
pretty
micro
cool.
and macro.
Yeah, I like competitive RTS, but I'm not too into ass faggots.
Dude, the best GIF I ever seen of Overwatch. I saw it on Reddit. It was like there was a diva using her ult in the sky, and like the subtitle for the thing just said "There goes my hero," and it like jumps in the air.
It puts his bubble
Bubbles,
out.
yeah, it puts his bubble around it. It just saves everyone's life. It was awesome, and the Winston died doing it, but
That's amazing.
Dude, that game has some great memes.
It's also
I
gonna have a
love
really
Overwatch.
great esports league eventually.
Yeah, the Overwatch League.
Yeah, that's gonna be the most in depth and like I don't know, like I mean it's gonna be based on like your city. So usually most esports is like, there's a couple of teams in North America, a couple teams for Europe, and obviously for like Korea, Japan, and all that. But this one's gonna be like, there'll be like a Chicago team and like a New York team and multiple California teams, I'm sure, because California always feels the need to have like 5 teams per sport.
Yeah, I know. Well, they are the biggest state, one of the biggest states in the union, but
Is it?
yeah,
I thought Alaska was.
If I'm wrong, but
population-wise.
Oh,
I saw
population.
I saw an article. Granted, it was on Snap, so like
Yeah.
bear with me. It said California might be trying to secede from the United States.
Oh, yeah, there's a
Okay.
movement going on called CalExit. It actually doesn't start because obviously they're pretty upset about the presidential election, but there's actually been a 5 California movement to split California into 5 different states for a while now.
Really?
Yeah, it would be like the state of Jefferson, which would be right under Oregon. Then there would be Silicon Valley, the state of Silicon Valley, which would be
The state of Silicon Valley.
yeah, which would be San Francisco area, which is
Good show.
which is still Northern California, and then there would be Southern California, and then 2 others. See, I'll look it up really quick, but basically, one, that'll never happen. The California's never leaving. The 5 states thing may happen. This is what Texas talked about too. When Texas talks about seceding from the union, they also talk about this 5 state solution, or sorry, it's 6 states of California. But so basically there would be oh, I thought this was actual. This was the actual chart, and it says Southern California's Burritoville, and then Los Hollywood, Techtopia, Methodonia, and then. But basically, it would be 5 different. It'd be the state of Jefferson, Northern California, right under it, and then Silicon Valley, the area where San Francisco is, West California, South California, and Central California. But CalExit's never going to happen. Maybe they could split into different states, but I doubt it will, considering someone in super North California has really different interests from someone in Southern California. But I doubt they're ever going to actually leave, because think about what that means for the Democrats. They lose guaranteed 55 electoral votes. How many seats in the Senate? How many seats in the House do they lose? The Democrats are going to let them leave.
But who would change the flag if there was more states? No
What
one
do you-
wants to do
The
that.
bear would be broken up.
But yeah, the bear, each state gets a piece of the bear.
No, he's saying the American flag.
Yeah.
Oh, if they split into 5 states,
They gotta
Well,
add
to
4
add
more
more flags.
stars.
they would redo the flag. But I mean, some people are honestly
for that.
there's honestly some people that argue that we shouldn't take in any more states because 50 is a good number.
I
is a
mean,
good
that
reason.
logic is pretty sound.
That logic is totally sound.
I mean, I get where they're coming from. I have a few friends here that are from Puerto Rico, and it's pretty shitty they own a state, considering like they get all the bad stuff about being a
Oh yeah,
territory,
'cause-
and
yeah, that's-
nothing good about being a territory. Like being a state is infinitely better. But he's just like, yeah. One friend's like, yeah, but he's from Puerto Rico, and he's saying, yeah, some people say we should be a state, but then other people are saying that they don't want 51 stars on the flag. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, you gotta look at that.
that's a lot of production costs,
It's
guys.
a shitty fucking reason. But I love it.
We can't put another star on the flag. I mean, I don't know how we'd even balance that.
That's one too many.
How much do you think it would cost to replace all the flags in the United States that are generally flown?
I
They're
mean,
not gonna give it to us. We pay for it ourselves.
well, no, all the public office, so all the public offices.
Public offices and like I don't mean like private homes, but like schools, government buildings, things
Yeah.
like that. Like how much do you think that would cost across the entire United States to redo the flag?
Well,
A
let's
lot.
let's see. How much does one flag cost? So, American flag cost government. So it says here. We're not gonna find it, but basically, if you could just find how much the government, do a FOIA request at your local village hall. Little government plug here. Do a FOIA request, FOIA, Freedom of Information Act, at your local village hall.
yeah.
And then ask them to see how much the flags that they buy cost them, and then just multiply that by 2.3 million.
Wouldn't it
And then-
depend on the
and-
size?
And then following that, be faced with the fact that not all information is free.
Yeah, true. And also, you have to be do you think flag companies, companies that make flags, are lobbying for this to be done, for a 51st state to be in?
I
I'm
could
10.
ask- I
What does
mean-
lobbying mean?
I could see it. Lobbying is like they're just pushing for it, basically.
Pushing for it in Congress.
Supporting it, yeah. Which, I mean, we all know Congress doesn't get shit done, so they're not going to, it doesn't matter anyway.
Yeah. But I mean, if I was a flag company, I'd be like, "Hey, Puerto Rico, feel bad for those guys over there. We should definitely make a 51st state."
Or they might be pushing for the California exit.
Oh yeah, right. Oh yeah, get California. If they want to leave, we gotta let them leave. It's the right thing to do.
If they were smart, they push for separate things. They push for Puerto Rico first, and then California a year later.
Awesome.
Oh.
They got 2 different production lines.
Yeah, but
Exactly.
what if they're pushing for Puerto Rico, but then the idea kind of slips of also California leaving, so it happens at the same time, and so no flag adjustments needed. Then the flag company just gets fucked.
I mean, hey man, you gotta have a risk to make a reward.
I mean, yeah, that's a pretty pretty big risk right there.
All the maps would change too.
Oh god,
Man,
those,
got the
companies making
cartographer.
those map companies.
Who even uses physical
Google
maps
Maps.
anymore, though?
Like a physical map. I have no
military?
idea. My
Yeah,
grandpa has a map in his basement that I used to look at all the time.
everyone has the map on their phone now.
They do.
There's a
They
map
also-
on my phone.
They have a
Google
they have a
Maps?
beautiful thing called the internet.
Yeah, everyone uses the internet now.
Yeah, but at the same time, no one could find things without the internet, so that's
Or-
kind of shitty too.
Yeah,
One of the most beautiful things about the internet is just being able to watch any
Porn.
movie ever. Well,
I knew you were gonna say that.
Dude, free porn. This is the era I want to live in.
dude, Pornhub free 2017. There's a whole thing about it.
What were you saying though? Before we were rudely interrupted.
I was gonna say about like just watching any movie. Moana
Porn
actually.
movies.
God damn it, Jason.
I'll stop.
From the
I
adult.
didn't say except you.
I know Moana just came out on Soul movie in HD. We
Moana
watched
porn.
that. No, not just
Well,
Moana.
how old is
not
Moana,
porn.
first of all?
Is she like 14,
16.
16?
Yeah.
Some states.
Yeah,
God.
be careful where you watch it.
Oh, speaking of Moana, you guys are excited for the Oscars this weekend? You gonna watch that?
No.
I don't
I'll
have
watch some of
cable,
it probably.
but I'll follow it.
I think I'm gonna watch this one. I'm interested to see if La La Land has the big sweep that it has had at the Golden Globes.
I haven't seen
That
enough
or
of the
the-
movies.
That or that other one that's really big. I forgot what it's called.
Arrival?
No.
Manchester by the Sea.
No, the other one.
Okay, we just named two other ones.
Yeah, the other one.
All right. I want to hear your guys' opinion on this. My mom's like, "Oh, you should watch Hidden Figures because the science behind it is really cool." Do you guys know what the story of that is? Hidden
Yes,
Figures.
I do.
It's like the women behind NASA that like apparently got no credit for whatever reason because they're women.
Yeah.
She's like, "You'd really like it because of the science." I'm like, I have no interest in that movie, and I don't feel like watching another political agenda movie. Do you disagree?
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, one, I kind of doubt. So the whole point of the movie is that the space launch didn't happen, and based on the preview, the moon landings, the Apollo missions would not have happened without these women. And the whole movies kind of go like, it's a bunch of guys, white guys, sitting in a room, they're staring at the chalkboard, and they're just like, man, we cannot figure this out. And then she walks in and be like, hold up. You mean you just got to do this math? And then she does some math on the chalkboard, and they're like, "Holy shit, she did it!" Like, that's literally
So
how I got from what I got from the movie.
So it's a black Good Will Hunting.
In Black Goodwill Hunting, I guess is a good way to put it.
But she was trying to convey to me, he's like, "Oh, it's like, you love the science behind it." I'm like, "All right." There's already a movie called, was it like
Apollo
What?
13 with Tom, and it has
No,
Tom Hanks and Kevin Bacon in it.
No, even this year. Well, okay. Consider how many movies this year were like so like racially based or gender based.
All of them.
Like literally at the Oscars, you just see a fucking just it's just so inundation of them. It just gets annoying. Like I'm like, okay, I get it. Like
Yeah,
it's like, oh, women like prevailing against your prejudice. So good for them. Blah blah blah. Like okay, I get it. Like there's been struggles. If I see another movie,
it's just
I'm
for
sorry.
a moment. It's just for a moment. You want to not forget about it, but just kind of stop thinking about all that for a second, because it's
Well, yeah,
it's pretty heavy
okay,
stuff
'cause-
most of the time, and it's just like you kind of just want to enjoy a movie without getting
Yeah.
some kind of agenda pushed down your throat.
Remember how?
or like
last
if I swear to God, if I see another movie about slavery, I'm like, yes, slavery was bad. I think most of the world has agreed upon this.
Yeah.
We don't need another movie about slavery.
Remember
Like,
how last year everyone was like the Oscars are white or whatever?
oh yeah,
Oh, the
Yeah,
Oscars we're so black this year. Are you kidding?
Jim made a good point that he thinks I forgot what movie it was, but it was something with like black people are the main focus, and he thinks it's gonna win just for that reason because of last year, which he's probably right.
Moonlight.
Moonlight.
So
That's the one I was thinking of
here's
earlier.
Best Picture nominees.
Although according to Alec, that one's not. It's marketed as that kind of movie, but it's actually not.
That's what I've heard too. I've heard it's actually pretty good. But here's
Like
the best.
because I was averse to seeing that movie, and he wants to see it because of the soundtrack, obviously, because he's a music guy. Um, but I was very averse to seeing that because of that reason. And he's like, it's actually really not about that at all. It's just about someone growing up in like Miami.
So here are the Best Picture nominees: Arrival with what's his name? Jeremy Renner's in it. That's the sci-fi, but it's like a new take on aliens. I haven't seen it. I heard it's really good though.
I do need to see that one.
Fences with Denzel Washington. Don't know what it's about.
Mm-hmm.
Hacksaw Ridge, which my boy Mel Gibson's back, baby.
And
Is that
Anthony
movie good?
Yeah, that movie's awesome.
Andrew Garfield. I love Andrew Garfield. I think he's great.
Yeah, and that story of that movie's awesome. The guy who, for religious reasons, wouldn't fire a shot, but went
Yeah,
like
he's a pacifist, right?
he was a pacifist, but that didn't stop him from like serving. And what he did was he went and rescued like 47 guys or something with no gun. Just went.
I thought it was more than that, but you might be
Probably
right.
maybe more. I thought it was like 47 or something. One at a time too. He would like
Yeah.
run through a bunch of enemy gunfire, pick up his guy, run back, then go back and forth. Then there's,
Do you think he was seen as not a threat because he had no gun?
I mean, partly yeah, but I mean they were facing the Japanese though. And
No, I agree, but like I just put yourself in the opposition shoes, and like you see someone running around with no weapon. Do you think do you
the
focus your attention on them, or do you?
well,
do you not?
the Germans, yeah. I mean, you weren't really supposed to shoot medics because like they weren't hurting. They weren't
It's
shooting.
a war crime.
Yeah, it's a war crime to shoot medics.
Not at World War II.
But we're talking about the Japanese here. I mean, the Germans did a lot bad too, but like the Japanese, you know, the Bataan Death March, they were just
yeah.
they were just pretty much
The Rape of Nanking.
rape of
Kamikaze
Nanking.
pilots.
They were insane. So I don't think they really saw him as just like, oh, he has no gun, we're not going to shoot him. They saw him as
No,
the
I
enemy.
just think that might
He's
that,
an
that,
enemy
could, that
combatant.
could have been a factor. It could have been a factor.
maybe
Like
individually.
I'm saying I doubt he was that lucky, but you know, obviously I'm not trying to downplay the story. The story is incredible, and I
Well-
do want to see that movie.
My favorite part of it is my boy Mel Gibson's back, though they're going to shaft him.
But what are the other nominations? So there's one.
Hell or High
I'm trying to
Water
think of.
with Jeff Bridges and what's the guy from the new Captain Kirk in Star Trek?
James Pine or something like that.
Yeah,
James Pine.
James Pine.
Chris Pine.
Chris Pine.
Chris Pines. Yeah.
Amazing movie. It's about two brothers who are bank robbers, and it's a very small stakes movie, which I like.
So the town.
Even
Hey,
smaller
I got
stakes.
a fun fact about the town.
What?
What's the fun
You
fact?
know those nun masks?
Yes.
My uncle made those.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
Why?
shit.
Like, what is it? How? What's the
He-
connection?
He makes masks for movies.
That's actually really cool. I love that movie. It was a great movie.
But anyway, so Hell or High Water is a really good movie. It's about two brothers who are bank robbers in like southern Texas, small town Texas. So they're not in Boston. They go from small town to small town and rob small banks, and it's really good. The story in it, Hidden Figures, La La Land, Lion. I don't know what that is. Manchester by the Sea, and then Moonlight. Those are Best Picture.
I literally heard most of Manchester by the Sea, and I kind of got spoiled on some of like, I guess some more emotional aspects of that movie because I was just in my room and the walls are thin here.
Yeah.
And Alec and
Ooh.
some girl were watching that movie.
Oh, the walls are
I-
thin.
Did you hear
I-
more than the movie?
I just heard the movie.
He heard only what he wanted to hear.
It didn't
the
sound
movie.
that. I won't lie. It didn't sound that great.
It probably was. Did it sound boring?
I don't know where it was based, but like there was just constantly they were just constantly cussing at each other, and like it just sounded like it was like really like try hard, like I don't know if it was like redneck or just like what I like I said I didn't watch it, so I guess I can't talk too much about it. But like I mean, Alec and this girl were laughing at it at certain points, and it's a very serious movie. So I'm like, I feel like I don't know. I don't know if it was as good as it seemed.
There are two things in movies I really don't like when it comes to explicit stuff that kind of takes me out of the movie. It's unnecessary swearing and unnecessary nudity. Those two things I really don't like in movies, and not
So
because
Game of Thrones,
some of Game of Thrones kinda, but I guess the
a
best.
lot of Game of Thrones.
I believe all was necessary in Game of Thrones.
Okay, but that's what I don't like. It's just like the reaction everyone says is, "Oh, you get to see boobs," and I'm just like, just look on Google boobs. Like, don't take 5
The
minutes.
search of that just
Yes. Don't
12-year-old
take out
looking up porn.
boobs.com. But don't take out 5 minutes of the story that needs to get explained. That could
All
have
right,
had
guys.
some character development, and stick in a bunch of nudity. The same thing is in this show Black Mirror on Netflix, which is like a new type Twilight Zone but with technology. It's kind of good, but they like to say fuck so much. It's just kind of, it takes you out of it. It's just like no one says the F word this much.
Well, literally in Manchester by the Sea, there was a bit like "fuck you," no, "fuck you." Like it was just going back and it was just it just seemed unnecessary just listening to it. By the way, I googled boobs. Did you want an image search or a regular search? Because there's bigtits.com. There's hashtag boobs on Instagram.
Well, you know
I'm
what
glad
I'm
you're doing your research, Nick.
Yeah,
there's pics of hot boobs on thechive.com/category/girl/boobs.
I mean, any of those will do, but you get my point. Don't take story out just to get a little bit of nudity, like that nudity or sex scene in, because I would have much preferred to have a little more character development.
Oh, that's all
Sells,
fan
man.
service.
The image search is all like clothed boobs, so this is kind of disappointing.
Well, you have safe search
Do you
on.
know how many movies are just like, yo, you see the celebrity's tits in it, everyone's like, I'm gonna have to see this movie now. Why would you change the formula?
Have you actually watched the movie though, or did you just like Google or YouTube the certain scene from the movie?
Depends.
I've never watched a movie because I've heard an actress or actor was naked in it.
I don't think I have either. But you guys,
What about the
speaking
Michael
of
Fassbender one where he hangs dong?
speaking of, I will say, the entire selling point of 50 Shades and 50 Shades Darker is the sex scenes. That's the entire selling point. And
Wait, hold on. Did you hear about the
um,
things people were posting about
The cucumbers?
theater? Yeah, the
Yeah,
cucumbers.
cucumbers all over the place.
You see,
cucumbers.
at first I believed that, but now I'm starting to think people like who work there bring in their own cucumbers and just to get an epic post on social
I'm
media.
sure most of it was a gag, but there'd be at least one that was real.
Speaking of celebrity nudity, let's take a moment of remembrance and remember the fappening in all its glory.
Was that 2016 or was that 15?
I think that might have been
That was like 14.
15 or 14. But dude,
14.
that was a great time to be alive.
They caught the guy, I'm pretty sure.
They did.
I'm pretty sure the guy who they caught him.
Oh, that's kind of unfortunate. Well, I guess we won't see one for a while.
May
Then.
he rest in peace.
Oh.
Well, to change topic from titties, I want to
Was
talk
he-
about a stupid movie I saw on Netflix.
Yeah.
Was it?
You ever seen? Did you watch iBoy?
Snowpiercer?
No, it was iBoy.
I fucking hate Snowpiercer.
I know
So
you.
it's a movie
I know
that-
about your hatred for Snowpiercer.
Sounds like a good movie. Both you guys.
I haven't seen that movie.
It has
And
Chris Evans in it.
I know. It sounds like a good
I'm
movie.
already interested.
It should be good, but it's absolute shit.
You know, I'm gonna watch that movie, and I'm gonna make sure I like it, and then just to piss you off.
Good luck.
Okay, so iBoy has Macy Williams in it, and
She's
the
not
whole
hot.
plot. I disagree.
Before you go
But-
on, but go on.
Oh, okay. So the whole plot of the movie is this one kid gets like
I
like
can't
evil
find it.
abilities, lack of a better term. And he gets these abilities because he goes over to Macy Williams' house, sees a bunch of like guys broke in, and they like raped her or something. So he runs away, and he's like calling
Maisie
the
Williams
police.
from Game of Thrones.
Yes, sir.
Tyler, I'm
Okay.
siding with you on that argument.
Yeah, little
You're
gremlin.
distracting me, dick. But no. So he's running, and they shoot him in the head into the phone, and the shards of the phone get lodged in his brain, and that's how he gets the powers. And I'm just like, are you fucking kidding
Wait,
me?
what?
I would turn the movie off right there.
I watched the whole thing, but that was stupid.
Hey, so I Google image search iBoy movie, and the first images that come up are Cal from Good Burger with grapes in his nose.
What?
Google iBoy movie and go to the images.
I'm gonna do that right now.
It's Cal from Keenan and Cal and Good Burger with grapes in his nose.
Here's the thing I'm talking about. Like another movie that was about women that was basically a gender agenda was a movie called 20th Century Women.
I don't think that would sound like that. What
I
gave you
don't-
that idea?
I don't know. Like I haven't seen it, so I can't judge it too harshly. But like, I just have a feeling like call it intuition, but I think that might have an agenda.
89% on Rotten Tomatoes. Critics hailed it as being super progressive and a movie of its time.
Dude, so progressive. So progressive.
Tyler, I'm not seeing that picture.
You,
Are you kidding me?
You cis fags can't appreciate it.
But Jason? Did you Google it like this?
Like Google? Yeah, I went to Google. And
No, look at the
typed in
chat. Look at the chat.
I boy movie.
Well, you spelled it wrong, you idiot.
How am I supposed to spell
Yeah, I
it?
put an I in it.
With an I, like iPod.
Yeah, that's what I determined
Oh,
it is.
that's what I guessed it would be actually.
Oh,
No, I got fucking Spider-Man. I got Spider-Man comics.
Yeah, I got Marvel
And you're
stuff.
complaining.
Do you guys think that Zootopia is gonna win best animated feature film again?
Hey, I just watched the movie for the first time.
How did you like it?
I enjoyed it. I actually, I was like, I'm gonna put this on to go to sleep, but I ended up watching the entire thing.
It's pretty. The movie is very creative, and I think that's why
I
like,
think it might. Get,
Zootopia, Moana, and Kubo are all great. I think Zootopia is the most imaginative.
I think Kubo might beat it because of its animation style, but
Its animation style is very good.
I've only actually seen Moana.
You didn't see Zootopia yet?
No.
What?
Stop what
How did I beat you to a movie?
It's on
after,
Netflix.
after this podcast. Watch that. Yeah, watch that movie on Netflix.
And Finding Dory. It's a good movie too.
Okay, Finding Dory. It didn't need to be made.
It
was
didn't need to
good.
happen. Dude, Pixar.
It did need
I
to
didn't really
happen.
care for that one.
Okay, here's the thing. They were riding. They were totally riding the nostalgia train, which is fine. But what I didn't like most about that movie is, and it was a good movie overall. Obviously, like Pixar is not really gonna make a bad movie. They haven't done it yet.
I'm
But
just mad they made it.
well, for one thing, I didn't think she was a deep enough of a character to merit an entire movie based around her. But consider Finding Nemo, where they span the entire ocean looking for Nemo. Finding Dory is spent the entire time in an aquarium. It's so small scale in comparison. It's just like the stakes are just tiny.
But it's a big aquarium. That's not an aquarium, isn't it?
I'm sorry, it's like a marine biology center or something like that.
That's what it is.
Yeah, I'm sorry I compared it to an aquarium, which is probably the same size, maybe even smaller.
Speaking of Pixar, are you guys ready for Cars 3? Punished Lightning.
I'm ready for Cars 2.
Oh,
I don't know
I was
why.
even ready for planes, man.
I don't know why Cars. Okay, I've never saw planes. I don't know why Cars 2 gets so much hate. I thought it was still pretty entertaining.
I am excited for 3. I saw the preview and I thought, you know what, this actually looks pretty good.
I will say I'm a little annoyed that they're milking the series because the only series they've really milked for Pixar is Toy Story, which we all know
Making a 4, aren't they?
that does not need to happen. That does not need to happen. But like I just like when they come out with their new stuff, like Inside Out, totally original, fantastic, loved it. Keep doing that. The Good Dinosaur. They didn't market that nearly enough, but it was a good movie.
Heard that one kind of lacked.
It lacked, but I tell you what, that foliage animation was top.
I
Like,
think
That's what I look for in movies, the foliage.
I think everyone good from Disney Animation Studio left and went. I'm sorry, everyone good from Pixar went to Disney Animation Studio.
Well, the nice thing is Disney is kicking ass. Just regular Disney, not Disney Pixar.
Yeah.
Regular Disney is just kicking ass right now. Like
Yeah.
ever since Tangled, this is considered. People are considering this the third golden age of Disney, which I would have to agree because they've just been on their game, like just for the past. When did Tangled come out? Let me look it up. Probably 2009.
Jim says Moana is better than Frozen. Do you guys agree?
2010. The thing, I do like the music a lot in that movie. The
What, Frozen or Moana?
Moana.
I saw
but-
Frozen. Frozen's totally overrated. The music is great, but everything else is just.
I liked her powers.
I liked Frozen. I've really enjoyed most every Disney movie that's come out since Tangled. Tangled really got me back into Disney for a while. And
I
El-
haven't seen that at all.
Elson.
you haven't seen you've never seen Tangled.
Never.
Jason, watch Tangled the second this podcast is over. I swear to God, you.
We're all watching.
I guess
our
we're all
own
watching
Disney
some
movies.
Disney movies.
Tyler, you're gonna watch fucking Utopia, and Jason, you're gonna watch Tangled, and I'm gonna watch X-Men 2.
Oh, okay.
Am I gonna watch? Am I gonna watch Utopia? Or am I gonna watch Snowpiercer?
Snowpiercer, watch that.
You can watch that too, and you can agree with me about how it's shit. Hopefully.
I guess I'm gonna have to Um, watch Snowpiercer. I lost my train of thought there. I like Frozen though because Elsa reminded me of a frost mage.
That's a fair answer.
Fair.
How was
Uh,
how
where are
was
we at in the where are we in the podcast right now? How long are
we're
we going?
we're at an hour, so probably should wrap this up. How did Drew's back? How did U of I get most fun college to go to?
I don't know.
Of course, everyone on Facebook who goes to U of I is sharing it, and I'm just like,
All I know is Alyssa Sparacino like spent like
Yeah, say your
10
name, Nick.
sorry 10 minutes last
We
time.
mean not Alyssa. That's what we mean.
Her name's totally not Alyssa. Last time I talked to her, she spent like 10 minutes saying how much she loved U of I, and I was like, cool, bro.
it's just like
Last time I was down there, she didn't even say hi to me.
I've never
I
even
wasn't-
been there.
It was when we were at the alley, and she was there.
Is
and she
Faizan
was
not there anymore?
I imagine he graduated because he was a year above us.
I mean, shit happens.
Nick, to be fair, if you're like a party school, you're gonna say yours is the best at anything. I'm sure
Oh
you
yeah,
think
obviously.
that about Notre Dame or whatever the fuck. I
I
mean,
don't.
not Notre Dame.
I don't think that.
Notre Dame was the lamest school I've ever been to in my life.
Oh snap!
That also
True.
True, you haven't been here yet.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Drew, that hurts me. You visited.
It's okay. It's more fun than Marquette.
Oh.
Oh.
Hey, listen. Yeah. I could say some stuff.
Speaking
All right,
of
let's hear some
which,
stuff.
hang on. When are you good to visit? Because once the NCAA tournament's over, I'm basically free.
That's what me and your dad were talking about on the Super Bowl, but we'll talk about that after the podcast.
All right.
Speaking of that, we're at about an hour, so I'm going to end it here. And that reminds me, we have to get back to our top 10 celebrities that are literally Hitler.
Can I start this off?
I actually have the list here, but I think you could guess number 10 if you want to guess.
Is it Hitler?
Yes, it is.
Wait,
number 10 is literally Adolf Hitler.
Spoiler alert, they're all Hitler.
No, you're actually wrong.
Number one might shock you, Nick.
Number 1 might shock you indeed.
Tyler, what is number 1?
Well, here, as we sign off, I'll be naming the other 9 celebrities that are literally Adolf Hitler. It's number 9, Adolf Hitler. 8, Adolf Hitler. 7, Adolf Hitler. 6, Hitler. 5, Hitler. 4, good old Adolf. 3, Hitler.
Good played off.